Tune in for Patrick Ching's Painting in Paradise.
Aloha, I'm Patrick Ching, and thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise.
In this episode, we learn about Hawaii's sailing canoes and how you can draw and paint them. Kaihi Kawila will tell us about the parts of the canoe and touch on the relationships that Hawaiians have with their canoes. We'll revisit a canoe painting session with the Mālama Kai after-school ocean program in Waimānalo. Then watch as my good friend Kiks shows us the intricacies of hand lettering and how he's painted the name on the Hōkūle'a for several decades. All this and more on a smooth sailing episode of
Painting in Paradise!
The Hawaiian name for canoe is wa'a. Here to tell us about the parts of the wa'a is Kaihi Kawila.
Aloha nui kākou, o wau o Kaihi Kawila. And we're here today with Kaihi Kawila, this beautiful double-hulled canoe, and we just want to talk about the namahele, or the parts of the wa'a today. So Kaihi Kawila is a wa'a kaulua, and there are two kino, or two hulls of the canoe, and they're attached by yako, or what we say in English, cross beams. And on top of the yako is the pola. On this side of the wa'a, you can see the kuamo'o and the kino of the wa'a, of the canoe. And attached to the yako on this side is our kalapa'a, which is our stay lines. And there are numerous stay lines that hold the mast, or the kia, upright. So the kia, or the mast, stays up on the wa'a, on the canoe. And then also we have our pola. And on top of the pola is our heiau. And our heiau holds the mast step. And then we can kind of see right here in this angle is the ope'a, is the spar, and the pai, which is the boom of the sail. And on this angle of the canoe, we can see the hoiuli. The hoiuli is a steering blade that helps the canoe to maneuver on the ocean. So the steersman will normally put the blade into the water, and as the blade is hitting the water, that helps to direct the wa'a, or the canoe. You know, another important aspect of a voyager is somebody who uses wa'a as a canoe is our kaula. You know, traditionally, our kupuna would use niu, would use, you know, different plant material, but niu would be one of them that they would use to entwine and to create kaula that would hold the yako, the pola, and the kino together.
Lashing is actually a critical part, probably one of the most important components on any canoe, because that's what keeps a canoe together.
So on the wa'a, you know, kuleana is a huge part of, you know, being part of a wa'a, being part of a canoe. Making sure everything checks out safely, you know, that there's no holes in the canoe, making sure that it's watertight. You know, those are things that are really important, but also in making sure that you understand how the parts come together, so that way it creates a wa'a kaulua that's cohesive. You know, always being diligent, even as we're out in the ocean, being observant of how we can make sure we don't hit a reef. As we go through that process of building a canoe, putting the canoe together, having safety in mind, and sailing, then that's how we really take care of each other on the canoe. And,
When we return, I'll show you how to draw a simple version of a double-hulled canoe, and we'll revisit a canoe painting day in Waimānalo. Now I'll show you how I go about drawing a double hull canoe. You ready? Okay. Well, I tell you what, to make one of the hulls of the canoe, I'm gonna make that swooping shape. And I'll get it a little bit like wave action over here, like it's sitting in the ocean, okay? So there's one of my hulls. Looks kind of like a pretty bent banana. Now remember that I'm using a pen so that you can see. And you can be using a pencil. And remember, in the beginning, we're going to press softly. How are we going to press? Softly. Right. We don't want to dig into that paper, okay? So I've got one hull here. I'm going to kind of repeat the shape, going up a little bit and out a little bit, okay? So I'm going to kind of make another hole there. And it's going to end up right around here. It's kind of the same shape. Okay, now I can put a line right across here. Oh yeah. That'll separate the top part of the hull from the bottom. Okay, now I got my double hulls right there. To make a simple double hull, double masted, double sailed sailing canoe, I'm gonna put like a line over there. That's gonna be like a board that goes across, and you can go ahead and make a little house in there, you know, if you want, a little structure. You know, people can put things in there, can sleep in there. And I'll show it like that. We can put a mast and start it from right around here. This. Let's put another mast right around here. And another sail. Oh, I love the shape of those sails. We got a little hale, a little house in there, you know. Keep whatever you want in there, sleep in there, do whatever. I can do a little bit of shading like this. I'll give it a little bit of shading, kind of separating our hulls back there. And I'll put a little bit of shading right under this. Now here I went with a soft little pen, but I got a bigger pen in my pocket. If I like what I see right there, and I pretty much do, I can go over my favorite lines, or I can adjust them using a sharper pen, okay? In this case it happens to be a Sharpie pen. I'll go ahead and redo the shape of my hull. Okay, do my second hull back there. I'm going to put this hale, this little structure, this little triangle house in front there. The mast. Maybe I can make two lines. If I'm good and skilled and accurate, I'll put two lines on the mast. Oh. It's easy to get a little wavy. And the shape of the sail. Alright. Now you can further enhance the shape of the sail by kind of curving some lines here, okay? Kind of curving it in this shape that the wind would blow this sail and make it curve a little bit. In the old days, these were made out of woven lauhala mat and things, you know. So, you know, you can make a little bit of direction like that. Even if you want to do a little bit of this, it looks making these lines a little swooped like that, and also leaving the brightest parts kind of in the middle like that. I'll just put in the ocean there first. But, you know, they do have lines helping to keep those masts up, and you know, I'm not sure where exactly all of them go, so I'm gonna guess a little bit. If you want to put some people on top, you go ahead and, you know, put their shapes, and you can just kind of silhouette them. If you're making this canoe in a sunset painting, your whole canoe can kind of be silhouetted, or in other words, the whole thing can be kind of dark, you know. A canoe is something beautiful to put in a sunset painting. Yep, that's where the term comes from, sailing into the sunset. Now let's revisit a canoe painting session with the Hui Mālama o Ke Kai After School Ocean program in Waimānalo. I was happy to be one of their original volunteers and helped to create the petroglyph logo art that is still used today.
A nice cover for the light turn if you like to the top.
Hello, I'm Anakala Shane Lono. I work at Hui Mālama o Ke Kai. We are an after-school enrichment program. So we take the keiki and we do art projects with Anakala Patrick Ching. We also do va'a sailing. We do a lot of outdoor and indoor lessons based on Hawaiian culture and values.
Hello everybody and welcome to Waimānalo, where we're teaching the kids about their kuleana. What is their special gift to this community? We want them to understand some of their role and responsibility, and we're drawing all of that information from their DNA, because the Hawaiians knew how to do farming, they knew how to navigate, they knew how to do aquaculture. So we're actually just trying to bring it all back. Thank you all for being a part of our family. Aloha.
Aloha, my name is Leighton Manalo and I go to Hui Mālama o Ke Kai, and today we are painting at Kaiona with Anakala Patrick Ching.
We started with a simple drawing of a canoe, and I had them painting their backgrounds first.
Teeny bit, a teeny bit.
Chicken head red.
Red and white. I need a white.
Do you want lala green or alpaca sunrise? Forgetting what I'm doing.
Where blue meets blue and the ocean and sky become one. Where the mountains and the sea,
My tutu man still on that rock.
call out to me.
By me.
Come on over.
Go sit.
And the peaceful sound of the waves come rolling. Waimānalo, no other place to be. Waimānalo, loved by all who come to see.
Does your brother do paddling, Rhea?
Kuwahi pana, kukula iwi, kuai na aloha. The kupuna and the keiki.
Aloha, my name is Sarai. And my name is Rhea, and we painted these beautiful paintings of a va'a. We painted it with Anakala Patrick Ching. Hi, my name is Emily.
Hi, my name is Becky, and today we're doing a painting lesson with Anakala Patrick Ching.
At Kaiona.
And this is our painting that we
Aloha, my name is Jasmine, and this is a painting of my va'a.
Aloha, my name is April, and this is a painting of my va'a.
Hi, my name is Shai Kame. This is my painting. I tried my best.
At the end of the day, a good time was had by all, and a whole fleet of va'a was created. When we return, we'll meet a man who's been hand-painting the name on the Hōkūle'a for decades.
If I were a painter, I would paint my reverie. If that's the only way for you to be with me, we'd be there together, just like we used to be. Underneath the swirling skies for all to see. And I'm dreaming of a place where I could see your face. And I think my brush would take me there, but only if I were a painter and could paint
In upcountry Maui, I met up with one of Hawaii's best freehand sign painters. Because I'm so into brushstrokes, I asked my friend Kiks how it was he came to paint the name on the sailing canoe Hōkūle'a.
Yeah, so my specialty is painting a sign by hand. And I got into it as a kid. I think I was in the 8th grade when I got interested in the art of a letter. I met an old Japanese man in Kaimaki, a sign painter. He told me, boy, you know, there's good money in this kind of work. And from there, I followed him, I watched him. During my career, after painting basketball courts, I was doing a fleet of trucks and then painting boats at all the dry docks in Honolulu. Navy ships, big numbers on the Navy ships. I even got hired to paint the super ferry. Okay, so, you know, the question came up, how was it that I was the guy who painted Hōkūle'a's name for the last 40 years on the side of Hōkūle'a? Well, I got involved with Hōkūle'a in 1975 when they were building it, and I immediately got involved in sailing their prototype canoe as a steersman, and that led me to a steersman on Hōkūle'a, the big canoe. I was actually on the voyage on the Hōkūle'a when we got in that incident and Eddie lost his life. In 1977, after the Tahitian voyage, we had it in dry dock. And then someone said, hey, you know what? We gotta find somebody to paint a name on here. So I raised my hand. I said, hey, I'll do it. I got it covered. They all looked at me like, what? Nobody knew I was a sign painter back then. Nobody had any idea I could do magic with a brush. So I put the name on in 1977, and from then on, I've been the only one to put that name on the canoe for the last 40 years. Hōkūle'a is a documented vessel, so the Coast Guard has their rules on how big that sign has to be, what look they want to see, can they read it through binoculars from a helicopter. So there's certain rules you have to apply to put the name onto the canoe. So I knew all the rules, so that kind of helped me as the years went along. I was painting Hōkūle'a's sign in whatever design I wanted to, whatever colors I wanted to. And I think the last time I did the sign on it, it was around the world voyage.
Now watch as Kiks shows us his techniques for painting the name Hōkūle'a, starting with a quick sketch.
So this type of paint that I'm using, it's an enamel oil-based paint made specifically for sign paint. It's called one-shot enamels. I've got my brushes that I keep soaked in oil. I get my trusty bottle of thinner, spray thinner, and go zap, zap. And right now, it's just right. This hand on this hand, the left hand. Start it up here and go.
Kiks proceeds to begin the painting when he has the right consistency of paint and just the right amount of paint loaded in the brush. From then on, he counts on his years of experience and a steady hand. Over the years, he's developed some truly unique lettering styles. Kiks tells me that he's not so concerned about following the placement of his sketch exactly, but more importantly, putting the letters where they look the best. Like a maestro, he gets into the flow of his art. And now for the removal of the tape. Another important step is completing the curvature of the round letters. And filling in the spaces left by his guide tape. And finally, his signature okina or glottal stop.
We know Hōkūle'a is Polynesian sailing canoe with the crab claw sails. My okina the crab claw. This is just a basic slam dunk sample of hand lettering. Now if you're interested, you want to learn how to do this, give me the jingles, the book face, the email, whatever. Give me a holler and we can certainly get together and I can help you out. Thanks.
And here's how Kiks finished off the name of Hōkūle'a. Notice that he added a second layer of dark green, the port Hawaii loa, the macrons over the O and the U, and the shape of the Hōkūle'a in the background. Thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. I hope you enjoyed learning how to draw and paint the Hawaiian canoe. I'd love to see what you did, so why don't you send your art to my website at patrickching.com. Aloha.
Smile, big smile.